Hey friends, I've got huge news. You're never going to believe this kind of news. I just got an email from the Mia Media Company. They're looking for a literacy correspondent for their news channel. They need someone who knows how to read different kinds of texts, write in creative and powerful ways, and share ideas with the world. And after seeing some of the work we've done here on the Book Nook channel, they want me to apply. I mean, wow, right? I am so excited and also a little nervous. Let's take a look together. All right. So, to apply for the correspondent position, I have to create a reader and writer resume, a document that shows the top highlights of what I've learned and accomplished as a reader and writer. And as I sat down to work on it, I realized something really special. Think back to when we started our time together right here in the Book Nook. Make it a SMART goal. We talked about setting goals that were specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. We made goals related to reading more, writing better, exploring new topics, and having fun along the way. This resume is a way for us to show how far we've come to reach those SMART goals. You've been with me for every reading challenge, every story we explored, every skill we practiced. So let's look back on what we've done and see what we've achieved together. First, we dove into reading and writing informational texts related to animal adaptations. Remember our Mia Talks visit? I learned so much about how animals survive in the wild, especially wolves. And we practiced finding main ideas, using text features like headings and captions, drawing conclusions, and summarizing information. Which animal did you read and write about? On my resume, I'm going to write, I can read and write informational texts about science topics like animal adaptations. I know how to use text features to understand a text better. What about you? What's one skill you'd add to your own reader and writer resume from our time exploring the wonders of the world? Next, in Echoes of the Past, we explored inventions that changed the world. We learned how to read different text structures and examine how authors support their points with evidence. We also learned we can synthesize and generalize information across different texts to come to conclusions of our own. Through all of that reading, we learned how different inventions solve problems and make life better for people. We were able to form opinions on which invention was the most influential. Which invention stuck with you the most? On my resume, I'll write, I can read and write about historical topics like the development of inventions by finding important facts, connecting information to explain new things, and forming opinions. How about you? What's one thing you can do as a reader or writer now that you couldn't do before this unit? Our next learning experience was all about traditional tales, those timeless stories that teach important lessons like myths, fables, and folktales. We learned all about how characters, conflicts, and settings work together to make stories that stand the test of time. We also learned how words and language can shape stories and our experiences as readers. I'll never forget phrases we learned from these timeless tales like Pandora's box and Achilles' heel. Then we practiced using story elements in the hero's journey to write our own stories. Think back to how Cordelia learned to control her connection with the ocean. What kind of journey did your character go through? I'll add this to my resume. I can read and write stories by understanding characters, settings, and plot. I can use meaningful language and use details to bring stories to life. How about you? What's a storytelling skill you're proud of? Next came our Peter Pan novel study with our book club. We explored the world of fantasy, analyzing point of view and perspective. We learned to notice the choices an author makes that help us understand the big idea or theme of a story. We paid close attention to symbols like the acorn and open window. Remember the way we analyzed how Wendy was changing over time? Oh, I really loved reading that book. Okay, on my resume, I'm writing, I can read fantasy stories by noticing how authors use characters, symbols, and special moments to help us understand big ideas. Oh, and we also wrote our own fantasy stories. Oh, it was so fun writing about Lyra and the Crownwood Tree, my story that explored quiet leadership. What kind of theme did your story explore? Let's capture that too. All right. I can write fantasy stories by using characters, symbols, and important events to share big ideas with my readers. If you could add something from this unit to your resume, what would it be? And finally, our book pitch. Wow, that was a big one. We explored real-world issues like the use of AI, pollution, and clean water by learning how to ask good questions, conduct research, and gather information from different sources. We turned those real-world issues into amazing speculative stories. It was such a great way to combine everything we've learned: informational reading, research skills, note-taking, and storytelling that inspires change. My resume will say, I can combine research and creative thinking to write stories that solve problems and explore possibilities. What's something you'll always remember from working on your book pitch? Wow! Looking at this, I feel so proud, and I hope you do too. You've been working toward your goals all along. Maybe you wanted to read a certain number of books, learn new vocabulary words, write your own story, or become a better storyteller. Take a moment to think. Have you made progress toward those goals? What are you most proud of? I couldn't have done it without you. This journey has been incredible because we did it together. And now it's time for me to send off my reader and writer resume to the Mia Media Company. Ooh, I don't know what will happen next, but no matter the outcome, I've grown as a reader, a writer, and a thinker. And I hope you feel that way too. Our time in the Book Nook might be over, but your journey will continue. So, what big goals will you chase next? How will reading and writing help you get there? Wherever your learning takes you next, keep reading, keep writing, and keep working on your goals. Goodbye! Hey, hey.